yourself a little Friday Coaching Company podcast. We are here every single weekday to support the morning show. If you missed the morning show on Stadium, YouTube, or socials, you can always go back and watch it on demand. A ton of best bets today, at least 6 to 8. Also, it's Footy Friday with Big Chuck. He had a 5-pack of picks from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The pick today, by the way, Paris. It's definitely the League One. There's only one League One match. The over 2.75. Make sure you get that in. And then our first half parlay, which is always a ton of fun. So you want to go back and watch that show. Also, coming out of BTT Studios, a lot of you have already watched the Killer, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett interview on our special episode of the Coach and Bro Show yesterday. If you haven't, I encourage you to go to our BTT page, subscribe while you are there, and check out the entire interview. What a great interview. What a nice couple they were. To give us so much time was incredibly generous from both of them. All right, joining me today, as he always does, my guy, Mikey P. Mikey, we got to start. Last night we had a lot of fun on the premium pop-up with the college football games and with a little bit of basketball, college, that is. But we didn't focus a lot on the NFL, and there's a reason why. It was, don't let Raphael hear me say this, the worst Thursday night game we've had so far this year. If only the Raiders could have won. If they're going to cover, they might as well win. 10-7 Broncos. They're now the first 8-2 team in the – I got to make sure I get that right so I'm not giving out misinformation. But in the AFC – gosh darn it, Jonathan. They're the first 8-2 team in the AFC, currently sitting in that number one spot. I guess it's not how you win. It's just that you win. But 10-7 on a Thursday, yuck.
Yeah, and they became both teams. They had more penalties accepted in that game than first downs. I think we can just drop the mic on that one. And the Broncos became the third team in NFL history to win 7 games within their first 10 without scoring first. So you're welcome, Bo Nix. That is a Broncos defense that is truly carrying. Now, the best thing I loved about this game is I think we had more action on the premium show than was on the field. Those Broncos jerseys are so sweet. They are probably top 5 NFL jerseys that I've seen in recent history.
I love the fact that the NFL and the NBA, because somebody asked me this the other day. They're like, well, how come, what happened to the days where you have a home jersey and you have an away jersey? I said, fanatics happened. Merch happened. Money happened. And the more jerseys you get, I think Oregon kind of started this whole trend when Phil Knight and Nike had all that money. What Oregon 1 year, I think 3 years ago, had 22 different combinations, but yet they only play 13 games. It's like you have more than what your games are. But this has become a moneymaker for these teams to have as many different looks as possible.
Yeah, I believe Oregon last week also had, I'm going to get in trouble if I mess this up, but I think, what is the band? Grateful Dead? I think they had a specific jersey collaboration with the Grateful Dead. And it was literally nothing changed. It was just, it looked like a little tie-dye color scheme inside their regular jerseys. Great job, guys, I guess. But when you're Oregon, you have that money. Yeah, it sells. It absolutely sells. I'll be honest. In the NBA, the City Connect jerseys, I absolutely love. Sometimes I don't understand the reasoning behind it, but baseball really started it with their City Connect jerseys. And I think baseball has hit a home run, no pun intended, with those jerseys. They always make sense. They always look clean. I just think the NBA, there needs to be, they'll have like the Brooklyn Nets with 5 different colors and be like, it's the main culture of Brooklyn. It's like, what? That they don't know their colors or what?
That's the problem I have sometimes is they have a color. Like, I hate to use this example because somebody's going to pick this out and goes, Coach is making fun of breast. No, I'm not. When you have I'm not even going to use pink. Let's use green, and the main colors are blue and white. And so I have to look at the scoreboard, and in soccer they have the score is based off of the uniform they're wearing and the color. Sometimes I can't even figure out which team is which, because it's a color that's not normal for them. It happens a lot in soccer.
It happens. I can say the easiest example of that in the NBA is the Pelicans. Last year, they were purple and neon green. Nothing makes me think New Orleans Pelicans in purple and neon green.
At
If I
all.
see purple and neon green on Zion Williamson, I better be in laser tag, and I don't think he can move past that. Like, I'm good.
We better be at the club in a lounge. You know what I mean? Real quick, to tell you how bad the offenses were last night. Oh, Danica Patrick's on a commercial. Where has she been, by the way? Where's Danica Patrick been? Last night, the Broncos, and this is what's so frustrating as a Chiefs fan, that they win the game with these numbers. They had one receiver with over 40 yards. They had one receiver with 40 yards. Nobody else with over 25. They had one running back with 77, Dobbins, and then nobody else with over 9. Bo Nix minus 2 yards rushing, and that's probably the kneel down, I'm assuming, at the end of the – I mean, that is brutal. I mean, that is – and if you're the Raiders, how embarrassed are you? How embarrassed if you're Geno Smith and you're hopping back. You got the ball at the 40, down 3 in the fourth quarter, and you miss a field goal out of that? It's just it was so. I'm glad that I had the play last night with Kayana, because I would have driven myself crazy if I would have sat here and sat through 3 hours of that crap.
Coach, you know what year it is?
2025.
So could you explain to me why Pete Carroll still believes that Tyler Lockett needs to be his leading receiver and Geno Smith needs to be his starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, and Ashton Jency gets a first quarter touchdown and is never heard from again? I just don't know. Did they trade Jacoby Myers to be like, come on, Tyler Lockett, before your retirement benefits kick in, we'll give you one more chance? Dude's leading receiver, and he got acquired 10 days ago. Pete Carroll, stop. You can't play out your 10 years ago memories right now in the NFL. He will get fired before he sees the end of his contract.
You need to stop. Tyler Lockett averaged 8.8 yards per catch last night. It's the next level kind of stuff right there, kid. That's the next level kind of stuff. All right, let's move on from the travesty last night. Denver is 8-2. The Chargers are 6-3, and they play the Steelers this weekend in LA. That'll be a part of our morning show on Sunday. We'll be live at 10 a.m. Mikey will be in the host chair for that. The Chiefs right now on the Mikey, and this is the one thing that drives me nuts, and it probably shouldn't. And I get scolded on social media for this because they have a life. It's their bye week. They can do whatever they want to do. But the last two nights, this is his last season probably in the NFL. Travis Kelce and Boothang went out for dinner, not in Kansas City, in New York City. You're coming off a bad loss in Buffalo. You're 5-4. It's the first time in 6 or 7 years you've got a chance to potentially not even make the playoffs. And it's not enough for you to get your ass in shape, nurse the injuries, be with your training staff in Kansas City during your off week. You've got to go to New York. I have a problem with that. I probably shouldn't, but as a Chiefs fan, I don't want to see it.
I don't necessarily have a problem with it when it's a guy who has been there, done that his entire career. Now, I obviously it's a bye week, so it's kind of hard to lead by example. But I think just whatever he's doing with Boothing is one thing. If this was Xavier Worthy or some of these younger players on the Chiefs, I would definitely be a bit more concerned. But I'm not even concerned yet for the Chiefs. Josh Simmons, I believe, is coming back this upcoming week. It's so funny how so many people are gung-ho about the Baltimore Ravens coming back and winning the AFC North, but they're counting the Chiefs absolutely out. And I understand there's only one team in front of the Ravens, but you look at that Broncos team, their record helps them. Their offense does not. So I think the Chiefs have enough time to truly get ahead of the game here. Travis Kelce should lead by example, but I don't think the Chiefs have anything to worry about right now.
I one of my biggest criticisms is when you say that, yeah, he's been there, done that, he's a veteran. But when did he start entering into the discussion of retirement, being overweight? He lost 25 pounds in the offseason. Why? In my opinion, because I've been a world traveler before, he wasn't working out. He went to 5 different continents following her tour last year. And so he said, I'm going to refocus. I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to get in shape. And so I would have told Boothang, hey, how about you move to Kansas City? Why can't we hang out in Kansas City? Where I'm assuming they won't live in Kansas City once they get married and he retires. She's got a spot in Tampa. She's got a spot in New York. She's got a spot in Idaho. Why can they not stay in Kansas City? I know he's been there, done that, but been there, done that in the last 3 years is not the same as previous to that. And I think that's where fans have an issue with Kelsey is he's not moving as fast. He's getting older. And when you get older, you got to have the massages and all that. But let's focus on the schedule because the schedule might be the front part was a lot worse than the back part. So when you look at this, not a horrible schedule at all. They do get Denver twice. So right now they're 2 back. If they beat Denver twice, they catch them. They have Indianapolis at Arrowhead. They have at Dallas. Right now, you don't think they can wipe the floor with the Dallas Cowboys? They have Houston at Arrowhead. They have the Chargers at Arrowhead. They go to Tennessee. They have Denver back at Arrowhead. And then they finish the season in Las Vegas. If that's not at least 7-1, then we don't deserve to go to the playoffs anyway. Because that is as easy as the schedule makers. All your tough games are in Arrowhead, except for at Denver. That's it. That's it.
I think if anyone's a Chiefs fan, this is the time. And if you're a fan of the NFL, this is the time to truly lock in and watch the Chiefs. You're right. They should go 7-1. I think it would be sad if they don't go 8-0. Right now, after getting kind of just over the finish line for the first half of the season, they kind of limping out of it. But I think this will be the chance they control their destiny going up against the Chargers and the Broncos twice now. So I'm excited for what the Chiefs can do, but they got to do it, on this back half here, which is really could be a cakewalk for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We do have, by the way, some flowers. There is a game, Mikey, and this is where kind of coaching company has just a very, very small part, which I feel awesome about because where I feel like we're building a really cool family here, a really good group of guys. We're really all going in the right direction. And Phil McKagan, Coach Phil, he's a big part of what we do, and he's been one of my best friends for 20 years. And this Sunday, Atlanta and Indianapolis. It's a big game for both. They're playing in Germany. And either before the game or at halftime, Coach Phil is going to be introduced as the next head coach of the Berlin Thunder in the newly named, I think it's EFG, something like that. It's former NFL Europe. But how cool is it to have one of our guys be a head coach in Germany next year? And I said, that's the only way you're allowed to miss the show. But he'll be back. He'll be back this Thursday, and I can't wait to hear about the trip.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I wish I knew you and Coach Phil were so close because my first interaction with Coach Phil was like 3-4 years ago when he was a Chargers wide receivers coach who loved MMA, and that's how we connected. And I
Yep.
was like, this is fantastic. So I've always had a high amount of respect for Coach Phil, both in football and in combat sports. And you go over there. I wish the NFL wasn't so uptight because I would love to be doing our Sunday morning show, break in, bring up the video and give him all the flowers and respect he deserves because the man works his ass off. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that. Probably more fun than the actual game.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And it'll be a full circle moment. He has, I mean, since I've known him, I've really learned what life as a coach is truly all about. And if you get into coaching, first and foremost, to make money, you'll never get there. Only we talk about these buyouts and but that's the top 1%. Phil has in college, off the top of my head, East Carolina, South Florida. He was at Colorado as the assistant head coach. This is how quickly the rug can be pulled out from underneath you. Assistant head coach, great first year, financially awesome, and they hired Deion Sanders. Deion kept nobody. So he moved to Colorado 1 year out. When he was in the NFL, he was with who was the head coach at the Chargers when Phil was there? Anthony. Oh my God,
Lynn.
Lynn. And so when your coach brings you, so he coached in Buffalo, he coached in Miami, and then with the Chargers when you met him. Well, and Lynn gets fired. What happens? All your assistants get fired too. It's a tough life. And if you can stay on it and get back on the horse, get back on the bike, just like here in media has completely changed, Mikey. I mean, it's this is the future, but you got to be willing to grind. You got to be willing to get in it. Coaching's the same way because a lot of people drop off after a year. You see these shows, we're going to do this. You never hear from them again. That's why you and I are going to win. Me, you, producer man, Raphael, we will win because we will outlast everybody.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from Coach Phil. Listen, I might push the train towards Coach Phil at Prairie View A&M in the future. I just think, I actually do love getting the backstory of where these coaches go, because I don't think people really consider that. I don't even think they consider that when there's free agent acquisitions or trades. Everyone's upset that said player gets traded off their team. They don't think what it means for the other side. Said player, that player's family, that coach's family. This isn't just like, oh, I moved teams, I changed my jersey. No, you move everything.
By the way, I got to address something in the chat while you were talking. Big Cheesy thinks I'm complaining about Travis Kelce because I'm worried about the bet that he's one game up on me on 49ers and Chiefs. And then he said what you said. It's Travis Kelce. He's a future Hall of Famer. Basically, leave him alone. No, it's because he's a future Hall of Famer that he needs to lead by example. I hate this. Man, I need to get away. It's like the Twix commercial or the Snickers commercial. No, you don't. This is your last season. You're all in. Chips in the middle of the table. Nonsense. Nonsense, Big Cheesy. But thank you for renewing that membership this morning. That means a lot to us.
Can I say one thing on Chelsea real quick? You're dating Taylor Swift.
Yes.
How are you not on the same diet plan, health mode? Like, she is 10 pounds, maybe, and you're overweight. Like, how do they not?
Well, he's not overweight anymore. He's not
well,
overweight
he's not
anymore.
But I mean, they've been together for a while now.
Well, it's to me, it was. We're talking NFL shape. It's all relative. Like normal person shape, he's fine. But NFL shape, he wasn't, because guess what? He's got to run routes and he's got to cut and move. He's a tight end. It's like 10 yards here, 8 yards there. And he wasn't getting open because he was 25 pounds overweight. So he loses it. You go through that. You lose 25 pounds in 4 months. That's hardcore dieting. Hardcore dieting. And then you want to go out to every nice restaurant in New York City, boo thing. Got an issue with it. Don't make me go backwards. Speaking of going backwards, other NFL news, and this guy is, and it's not to be, nobody died in this, so we can kind of laugh. But when you show up to a celebrity boxing event in Miami as a guest celebrity, if you still think you are one, and you leave said boxing event with an attempted murder charge on you, and you're so smart that you go, you know what? Maybe I'll go to Dubai. And they'll never recognize me there until they do. And then Antonio Brown, probably the first future Hall of Famer that won't be in the Hall of Fame because of all the BS he's done while he played. I've never seen somebody throw away a career more than him. And now he's back in Florida facing charges. His mugshot looked like this. Your take on Mr. Brown?
I have no nice things to say about Antonio Brown. I will say this. I remember growing up and Terrell Owens was the biggest problem in the NFL, and Chad Ochocinco. They don't even compare to what Antonio Brown has done. And I remember the whole situation after the celebrity boxing event. He told them, oh, they were trying to take my chain. I'm sorry, do you not have enough money? And by the way, you really went to Dubai? The same guy who's been on the Joe Rogan podcast with an army helmet on, and the same guy tweeting out CTE, ESPN. You don't think you're recognizable? Are you serious? You think you're going to go anywhere in the world and people go, I wonder who that guy is? You've made yourself be well known more than after your playing career. It's a shame, and it's honestly sad, and he's got to live with that.
Oh, it's one of the worst stories in sports. And there's so many people out there that work their asses off. And this is the problem that I have with it. It's not all the bullshit that he's done. It's the fact that God graced him with some of the most talent of anybody ever to play the game of football. He was so good in his prime, so good for so many years with the Steelers. And then with the Bucs, we forget. And then to just throw it all away, because that's all I will say. All right, other NFL news. Jaden Daniels, ugly elbow injury, and Kyler Murray goes on the IR. And when you go on the IR, Mikey, you got to miss a minimum of 4 games. But Jaden Daniels, the Commanders have announced he's not going on the IR, which tells you what?
tells me Washington not only believes in their season, it also tells me the Cardinals are looking for a way out of Kyler Murray at the end of this year. That's all it comes down to. The Washington Commanders, and props to Dan Quinn when he started his post game press conference. He said, "I know everyone's going to ask about why Jaden was in the game, and he put it all on himself." So props to him, and props to Jaden Daniels if he can come back from multiple injuries this season and at least make Washington competitive. I think there's something about pride as a team when you're getting to week 10. And I think Washington still has pride while Arizona is trying to save face and Jacoby Brissett because they play better with him under center.
They play a ton better with him. He's a better leader. If you listen to his interviews as opposed, and he has every right to be upset. He has earned starting spots at other places. He plays well, and then back comes the starter, and they go, well, he's good in spots. That dude throws dimes. And that dude looked like a legitimate NFL starter against the Cowboys. And all you can ask from a quarterback, Mikey, is take what the defense gives you and don't try to do too much. He did that on Monday night, and he earned that spot. And I think Jonathan Gannon, if he had to do it back, would probably be like, hey, we're figuring it out. Because he says right after, no, Kyler Murray's our guy. Then the very next day, it is, oh, no, he's going to go on the IR. I think you're right. They never said anything about the IR before Monday night, period. And now all of a sudden, he's got to miss 4 games. Very interesting, but it's the right play.
I don't have to tell you this, Coach, because you know you've been in this business for a very long time. The very few players that I know personally in the NFL, I knew one player maybe about 8 years ago who went from the Saints to the Raiders, and he came into the office and they said, "Hey, you're going to go on season-ending injured reserve," and he was like, "But I'm not even hurt." And they're like, "All right, well then we'll just release you." And he's like, "Wait, okay, all right, I'll go on."
There's
And I think
so many.
yeah. I just feel like that's where I think Jonathan Gannon and the Arizona Cardinals front office saw the hoopla that was created when he goes right back to Kyler and they go, "Did you not see what Jacoby just did? No, Kyler's hurt." Okay, that's all you got to say. Kyler's hurt. He's going on injured reserve. We got your back.
There's so many things that happen, and because I've been privy to it through my friendships, through my jobs, that most normal people, fans sitting at home, don't understand. And it's amazing to me. It's kind of like before NIL money, how you knew players were getting paid, but none of them talked about it. None of them talked about it. It was the most amazing thing in sports. Like all these kids, a lot of them from the inner city going to big colleges getting paid, they love to talk. They love to tell you how much somebody slid them. And then all of a sudden, it's never talked about. To me, it's the biggest upset in all of sports. I don't know if I've ever told you the story, but when I was at my small college, I was the captain. When you're the captain, you've got to host the recruits that come in to try to get them to sign with you. Well, we had a recruit from a local JUCO in Kansas. His best friend had just signed at Arkansas. And this was during the Nolan Richardson era. This was years and years ago. And so they come down to play. We're in my room. We showered and we were getting ready to go to dinner. And he's putting on his jeans. And like, you know how like your jeans are tight, you're like cinching them up, right? And he feels something in his pocket. He goes, "Oh, that's where that is." And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out like it looked like drug money. It was all rolled up with a rubber band around. It was like this thick. And I'm 20 years old, 21 years old. Barely can go to McDonald's. And I'm looking at him going, "What the hell is that?" So I said, "What the hell is that?" And he goes, "Oh. Every time I go down there, they give us a little walking around money." I said, "That's walking around money?" He goes, "Yeah, well, they just kind of throw it to you." I said, "Like that?" He goes, "Yeah, they have it in a duffel bag. They just throw it out." And I said, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "No, some guys get keys." I said, "Keys to what?" He goes, "Oh, everybody gets an SUV when they go down there." I said, "And this is not exposed?" Nobody. He goes, "Not locally." He goes, "Everybody knows that they do it because it's the business." And I'm telling you, I imagine. Can you imagine a duffel bag with rolled up money in it in rubber bands? They go, "Mikey, a little bit for you. Coach, a little bit for you." Is that bananas?
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because that's Division One, right? My best friend in high school played
Arkansas, yeah.
Division Three. He played Division 3 football, and he goes, "Dude, it was so cool." We went into our team meeting, and it was right around Christmas, and they said, "Oh, your parents all sent you Christmas money. It's underneath your seats." And then the coaches walked out of the room, and we all had an envelope with it wasn't a bankroll, it was $500. But they're like, he's like, "Hey," he's like, I didn't know my mom and dad wanted to give me Christmas money this year." I'm like, that is so epic that they're like, "Oh, all your parents sent you Christmas money. We'll see you guys later." So we can't witness it.
Deuces. Do you know what $500 would have done for me in college? $500, because we used to remember back in the day, McDonald's had the value meal $2.99. I lived there. Subway $2.99 sixes. I lived there. If I didn't want to go to the cafeteria, it was absolutely bananas what $500 would have done for me. All right, Mikey, we got to get out of here. Thank you to Big Cheesy, Kimberly, all you guys. You guys are amazing for hanging out with us so much. We will have on demand Saturday morning. Me and Mikey looking at all the big games tomorrow. Sunday morning live at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And you know what? What's the Sunday? We're still trying to decide. What's Sunday night? Oh, Pittsburgh and Chargers. I feel like maybe we need to do a little premium pop up. Not premium. No. Sundays are free. Sunday. I feel like we need to do a show on Sunday. So I'll put it out on social media. We'll probably do one. Steelers Chargers. That's a big one. And then of course the Monday night grind, the Eagles and the Packers. I can't wait for that, dog. I can't wait for that.
We got Tommy C back with NFC East team playing. I mean, it doesn't get much better than. Although I may not be able to talk to Tommy C on Monday night because
Why?
the Giants and Bears play this weekend. So
what if the Giants beat you guys this weekend?
May have to miss my first show in a long time.
We'll see. That's why we love doing this so much. All right, that's going to do for us. For Mikey P, producer man, I am the coach. We'll see you next time right here on the Coach and Company podcast. Take care.